yeah, we can, keep introducing ourselves in the chat room, in the chat box. It's just below your screen. I'm sure you can see it. Let's introduce ourselves. If you're a mentor, if you're a mentee, or if you're a member jailer, yeah, let's introduce ourselves in the chat box. Thank you all for those who joining the meeting. Thank you for joining on time.
What's happening?
Hey, I can see more people joining. Good evening, God Wisdom. Good evening, Glory. Good evening, Ota. I really hope I've said that correctly. Who else is joining? Let's see. So, good evening, Fleming. So today's meeting is we're discussing the week 1 and week 2 topics. So basically that's it. So you can, if you didn't know what the meeting was about, that's what today's meeting is about. Yeah. One more minute and the meeting will begin. Who else is joining? Who else has introduced themselves? Let's see. Good evening, Adeyinka. Thank you very much for joining. Good evening, Emmanuel Osakwe. Thank you very much for joining. Who else? Yeah. Good evening, Marvelous. Hi, Marvelous. Thank you for joining. So, can you kindly tell me if you can hear me clearly in the chat room? Am I audible enough? Just
Yes.
see. I am audible enough. Okay, because the meeting is officially beginning. Yeah, I think there are no more people in the. Yeah, let me just admit a few people in the waiting room and then we'll begin. Yeah, so today's session I want it to be more. Yeah, good evening. Oh, thank you very much. So today's session is, let me introduce myself again. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Even those who are coming right now, thank you very much for joining. So my name is Ogega Bosibori Brenda. I'm a mentor, and today I'm your coordinator. And today's session is basically a discussion about the week 1 and week 2 webinar. Week 1 webinar was about understanding the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and week 2 was about global citizenship. So I want it to be more of an open forum, where everybody gets to contribute. And first of all, if you want to contribute, you can signal me in the chat box because I'm going through your chats. And let's be quick because the meeting is basically 40 minutes and we are down to 35. So beginning off is I would like to ask, just you can raise a hand or just unmute yourself, and kindly you can, once you're done talking or you're not talking, kindly mute yourself so that everybody can get to hear what the person talking is saying. So what are SDGs? What do you understand, given the week 1, discussions that were sent? What are your basic understanding of sustainable development goals? Like when you hear that, what comes to your mind? What clicks to your mind? What are SDGs?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Uwe Makwan from Nigeria.
Yeah.
What I understand from SDG First of all, the word SDG means Sustainable Development Goals. So they are United Nations templates to ensure that the world is convenient for everybody to live in. That's just the basic understanding I have from SDG.
Okay, so any other person want to give us a brief summary of what they understand by Sustainable Development Goals?
Okay. Yes, I would love to do that.
Go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm Emmanuel Osakwe I'm mentee from Edo State, Nigeria. We're discussing the SDGs. As we've said before, it stands for the Sustainable Development Goals. And basically, it's a solution that everyone can participate in. I think that's one key thing in the SDG goals, that everybody can play a role in making a change, in advocating for the 17 SDGs, 17 SDGs as we reviewed in our first class. So everybody has a role to play, be it in your community, be it in your home. So far, you just reach. And one thing I really loved about the lesson I learned was the community. It's bringing about the global community where you have to reach out to people. You have to reach out to people because people really die in silence. People really need to be comforted. So when you go out to meet them with this knowledge, be it on climate change, be it on health education, be it on poverty, you go and make a difference in their lives. That's just my contribution.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for the feedback. So yeah, SDGs, these are basically goals that were set by United Nations in partnership with other countries to help better the world around us, to help live a more sustainable or a more easier life, for lack of a better word. So why do we need SDGs? Basically, as a youth, why do we need to understand what SDGs are, and why do we need to implement the SDGs in our day-to-day life? Yeah, why do we need to do that?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Amaka from Nigeria. And the main reason why we need SDG is to address global challenges. Because in the world today, we have a lot of challenges, especially in Africa. And if you look around, majorly, education is one of the major challenge we have. A lot of our young ones, children, youth, are not getting quality education. And also hunger. Once there is hunger, in fact, when there is hunger, there's nothing to eat. Tell me, how do you want to think about education? It's not possible. So we need SDG. The reason why SDG was created was because to address global challenges and also to help people, we who are interested, to become advocates, to develop leadership skill. That is what I have to say.
Thank you very much for your feedback. Anybody else wants to give a shawara?
Okay.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes, OM.
Okay. I would to add to what she said.
Yeah.
As youths, the future of we are the future generation. So implementing or getting involved in the SDG vision would help us to build a better world, to help us to bring about the it will help us to effectively bring about the aim of the sustainable development goal. So the youths, so as youths, we have so much energy, and definitely we will help to bring about the aims of the sustainable development goals.
Oh, thank you very much.
I think I have something to say too.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say, talking about SDG, what I feel, good evening everyone, my name is Adeyinka. So what I feel to it is SDG gives us a room to get inclusive in the decisions of the world at large, because it doesn't literally need a legal endorsement to get involved in SDG. You just see the 17 goal and you feel which issue or which of these problems faced my community, and from your grassroots you effect something meaningful even to national level and the global level. So I think SDG give room for inclusiveness. No matter who you are, whoever it is, you can participate successfully. That's what I feel.
Thank you. Thank you. That's nice feedback, everybody. So yeah, basically, I think at this point, everybody understands what SDGs are and why we need the SDGs, given the discussions that we had. So I have a question. So, oh, first of all, before the question, so SDGs basically are divided into, I think, 5. So SDGs tackle different issues. So you'll find SDGs that are geared towards peace. Let's say SDG 16. There are SDGs that are there to help improve people's lifestyle as a whole, just relevant people. Let's kindly remember to mute our audio so that everybody can be audible. Yeah. So there are SDGs, that's SDG 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then there are SDGs that aim at prosperity, and that's SDG 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. If you don't know the 17 SDGs, you can check back later. And partnership, that's SDG 17. And there are SDGs that are basically there to help make our planet or environment more habitable, and that's 6, 12, 13, 14, 16. So given we have understood that SDGs are there to help us address global challenges, to help us create interaction, to help create good leadership skills, and given I believe everybody went through the topic 1. So at the West African Foreign Mentorship Program, can you kindly help us understand what SDG the West African Foreign Mentorship Program is actively taking a role in doing? Let us just not be saying SDGs and somebody out there doesn't know what the WAFMP is basically engaging in. So anybody wants to answer that? You can raise your hand or you can just go ahead and unmute yourself and talk.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
I would say,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, so for me, I haven't really gone through all, but as far as I know, I would say the West African Foreign Mentorship Program works majorly with SDG 17, and that is a partnership for the all goals. And that means they can come in any way through mentorship, building people, leaders that could actually stand up to say, this is what we want in this place, this phase. And so far we've even dived into the section of global citizenship. It makes this topic more clearer that the mentorship program is basically to help all of us develop different strata and sector of ourselves, just to be able to partner to effect change in the world. So I would say is SDG 17, partnering for all the goals.
Thank you. I can see from the chat box somebody has said I rephrase the question. So at the West African Foreign Mentorship Program, in your own understanding, what sustainable development goal do you think the program is actively taking a role in? In your own understanding, given the 2 topics so far and given your interactions, what goal do you think the program is actively taking a role in? So you can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself and give short comments. Yeah, Emmanuel has raised his hand. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, good evening, everybody again.
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you clearly.
As the first speaker said, mentorship program is because to SDG 17, which talks about partnership for the various goals. Because the first topic we saw the 17 SDGs, how the depth of their targets and what we seek to achieve in 17 SDGs, and week 2 we are discussing global citizenship. So basically, we are trying to expose our minds. I think that the program seeks to enlighten young leaders in the areas that they want to develop themselves and impact their communities and their social spheres. So that's basically the targets for the program from my perspective.
Yeah, thank you. So I'd give my own opinion on that. I think the West African Foreign Mentorship Program is also taking an active role in SDG4, which is quality education. I mean, most of us, and I know for one, I'm being educated every day in this program. So I'd say also quality education. Yeah, thank you all for those who answered the question. So as a youth, um, how do you meet the global goals now that you've understood and you know the importance of the sustainable development goals? So how do you as a youth put yourself in a position or meet the goals that you know the generally the SDGs? You know, what's your best shot as a youth to meet the goals?
If I get that question clearly,
Yeah.
sorry, this is Adinka. Can I speak on?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you said, as a youth, how do we meet the goals?
Yeah.
I believe in collaboration. No one is an island of knowledge, and I believe one of the best way to reach this goal, if I'm interested in SDG2 and I see someone who is actively doing something, action plan on SDG4, we could come together to effect change. So I believe as youth, if we could partner and collaborate, particularly, so we'll be able to achieve more in short time. That's my view.
Thank you very much. God's wisdom. I think you've lowered your hand. Sorry, I didn't see that. Emmanuel Olusola, you've raised your hand. You can go ahead and talk.
Good evening, good afternoon.
Hi, Emmanuel. We cannot hear you clearly.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm Olushola Emmanuel. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay. My own view about how can I influence the SDGs. One, I should be able to develop my capacity. When I develop my capacity to impart the global world with the capacity I'll be able to develop. So I positive all I have. So my own is being able to develop my capacity, being able to partner with others, have same view, have the same vision, and then together we develop the global. So that's my own view about it.
Okay. Thank you. But though we didn't hear you clearly, you can try and type in the chat box so that we can hear you clearly. So finally, I see Oyenkule. I really hope I've said that correctly. You've raised your hand. You can go ahead. Okay. Yes.
Mine is still raised though.
Okay, that's you, right?
This is God's wisdom, ma.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Part of how we can contribute is mainly through volunteer. And I appreciate the West African Foreign Mentorship Program because it has really helped to put these things, it has made it clear and it has put these things into concept. Because these were the things we were doing before, but it seemed that we were ignorant about it. So part of the ways we can really contribute is to seek for how we can volunteer, especially doing the volunteering work selflessly, whereby we are not expecting anything. I like the topic about the global the citizenship of it, and I was going through it, and really opened me up to a lot of things that I never had to think about before. So basically, part of what we can do is to volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the feedback. Yeah, volunteering. Actually, I think that's a very crucial part as a youth because most of the youth don't as much as some take pride in volunteering in any activity that helps in the well-being of everybody. Some may not see the need of volunteering, but at the end of the day, volunteering can be the can be a, it is a good form of giving back to the community and helping better people around you. So to wrap this up, I'd call on Favor to give his input, and anybody who has a question, please kindly remember to use the chat box. Just put your question there or raise your hand, and I'll take the question.
Yeah, thank you, Brenda. First, I want to appreciate the mentors joining us from various parts of the world. Ignore your presence. We have organization around. The person of Dr. Daniel Buji from the United States, New York City. Can we welcome him on board? Walk around. We have met in North America, William Boki from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welcome, William. We have another mentor from Nigeria. She is one lady that you need to meet, very inspiring lady. She's new on board with us, but you need to meet her. She's won several awards, and yeah, her name is Adedoyin Adebolarinwa. So Adedoyin Adebolarinwa. She's a lady that will actually inspire you. So welcome. Any other person probably I can't see. I want to say welcome on board. So we've talked as mentees, and we're going to hear from these people because they are here to share their experience, and the experiences they bring on board is what makes, or is what we crown what we have learned that will make it worthwhile. So I can't just start speaking. So I want to let's hear from them. First of all, let's welcome Dr. Daniel. Welcome aboard, sir. We're discussing a topic on sustainable developmental goals. I know you have a lot of experience on SDGs. If you follow Dr. Daniel on social media, you understand that United Nations can be very close.
The president, Favor, has said about the closeness of the UN to the ordinary people. It doesn't used to be like this. I guess the young people have given the Riot Act to UN officials and UN leaders, or UN officials are now listening better in light of the fact that the adults in the rooms are no longer listening, and that the population is way much younger now. So the smart thing to do is, to appeal to the majority, hoping that the minority will see reason to work together. So I don't know the reason why, but it is very strategic that it's important that leaders listen to the people, and it's part of what it means to be a citizen of the world or a citizen of any country. Your leaders or the leadership or the government are actually representative of you. So if you send your representative to the National Assembly, to government offices, it means one thing, that you have set the agenda. They are taking your own agenda. So that's important. So for you to ensure you achieve sustainable development goal, the agenda or the project or what you want, your necessity as an individual, as a community, as a society, must be secured first. So young people must set the agenda, or young people must be there when the agenda will be set. Either way, you must find yourself in the agenda center. When that is done, the next step is the decision to go forward. Now, you could set up 100 agendas, and then they say, okay, let us start off with 2 or 3. It is you that should set up that decision, you or your representatives, or you or your group. Young people must be in the decision-making when that agenda has been, ratified, or when the agenda is being tabled. Once you set the agenda and then you are part of the decision-making process, the next step is action, or what they call implementation. And that's why the theme for this year is youth engagement for global action. What it means is that you cannot engage a youth without the youth setting the agenda, without the youth being part of the decision-making process, without the youth implementing. Even if the youth is not implementing, you should be part of the implementation process, or the process to implement must encapsulate or incorporate the youth. And then finally, execution. So I call it AID. That's the mnemonic for youth engagement. So any government willing to engage, any youth willing to engage other youth, any youth willing to engage other organizations, that it shares common factor with, it's an intentional partnership. In short, what the UN says youth engagement is youth engagement is an intentional partnership between stakeholders and the youth. So stakeholders here could be government, and it has to be intentional. You can't say, I want to write down, I don't care. No, you have to willingly, courageously, you have to go out searching for the youth. That's what we mean by intentional partnership. So, but what we have over the years has always been documentation only on International Youth Day. And those kinds of days are not the best days for development. So in a nutshell, if you are going to be a citizen that will ensure sustainable development goals that we have agreed in, and these sustainable development goals are goals that try to empower the people, are goals that are trying to find new ways of energy, they call it power, are goals that try to ensure our planet, or the ecospace me and you share, are way better, are goals that should ensure prosperity when all these other three have been mentioned, are goals that should ensure that people and the respect for their dignity are all encapsulated. If we are to ensure this, we must be part of that agenda. We must bring our own agenda, whether at the central level, local level, domestic level, even in your house. You must be part of the decision-making process. You must be part of the implementation process by willful intention. And above all, you must be able to evaluate and know where you are, or you must ensure that it is executed. I feel these four compartments and many other ones my other mentors will contribute are significant for you becoming a global citizen. A global citizen is that individual who finds himself in an ecospace where decisions made to ensure his existence, are participatory. Decision made to ensure his decision are being sought after. Decision made to ensure his existence are being implemented, or he's being carried along, and when evaluated is seen to bring progress. So these are some of the points, and I like the theme of the topic. And thank you, and God bless you guys. I'll be joining another meeting, but I will be here in the meantime. I need to be in a UN meeting on the anniversary, their 75th anniversary. But I'm totally in support of your president, Favor. I'm inspired by what he's doing. I now know what it means to be a mentor. It's not as easy as I thought it was. This is my first experience. I always like to be part of the process, and not be the person, mentoring people. But it's a learning curve, and I cannot be young forever, So thank you so much for having me. And I'm proud of every one of you. And God bless you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for the input. Yes, I believe Favor was on speaker.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Daniel. I was already writing a lot of points. Whenever Dr. Daniel speaks, he speaks much wisdom. Yes, he's one man that is so inspiring. Yeah. So we have other mentors around, and would like to hear from them.
Hi, Mr. Flavor.
As pertains the topic SDGs, the understanding the SDGs, yes. And I like the way he also pointed or linked it to even the next topic we're going into. Yeah, so let's open it up for the mentors to contribute. We have Rillian Bog in the house. We have Ade Borinwa in the house. Yes, thank you. Let me check if I can see other mentors, but you can unmute yourself and start. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings to all mentors and mentees, and thank you, Mr. Flower, for that warm welcome. I am Mentor Rialenberg from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So our curriculum topic for the first week, we discussed about the SDGs, understanding them. So basically, we know there are 17 global goals, and it's very important to know that these goals are not just plain out 17 goals. They have specific targets and indicators. So there are about 169 targets and 230 indicators. And basically, these SDGs were formulated with the objective to provide a set of goals that would meet urgent environmental, political, and economic challenges facing the world, the entire world. So it's not SDGs for the United States, it's not SDGs for Nigeria, it's not SDGs for St. Vincent, it is for the entire world. Mentor Brenda mentioned about the 5Ps for sustainable development. She mentioned about people, prosperity, planet, peace, partnerships, which all of these goals would fall into their particular P. So she mentioned that people, that fell under goals number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Planet, goal number 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. Prosperity, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Peace, goal 8, 16. And partnership, goal 17. Now, I loved how one of our mentees mentioned about volunteerism. Oh, how that is so important, because without volunteerism, then our goals will never be accomplished. We will never achieve our goals. So once we see that there is a challenge within our society, within our community or country, it is our obligation, once we see ourselves as an active citizen of our community, actor of the world, it is our obligation to go out there and take action so that we can see results. It doesn't make sense like, oh, I'm complaining, like, oh, what is happening? There are so many persons living in poverty, and it doesn't make sense in complaining when you are not trying to find solutions to these problems. So because you are here in this webinar, in this forum today, it says a lot. And I can see all of the mentees, mentors, you guys, you will be doing so great in the future to come. And right now in present, I'm very happy to know that most of you have already started working on the SDGs. Now, we may be facing a lot of problems that may deem it hard for the SDGs to be accomplished, but do remember that nothing good in life comes easy, and that's something that we should always remember. For myself, I am a proud volunteer and I work on SDG 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which encompass people. That's my main focus. And for the West African Mentorship Program, I like to also highlight that its the main target or its the main SDG is for quality education, right? That's the main focus. And because you guys are here, it tells that you guys are willing to learn, you guys are open to new possibilities and to learn from everybody and to network. So any other mentee has any questions for me based on what I do as I volunteer for Global Goals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, feel free to ask, and I'm always willing to share. Thank you.
I didn't bring it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Villian. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Villian is a regional analyst. She's one inspiring leader you need to meet. Very passionate about what she does. Both position, US skeptic colleague. Please, can you mute your mic? The US, she's doing exceptionally well. Please, and I want to also recognize the presence of some leaders in our midst. We have with us the person of some of our advisory council member. We have with us Professor Felix Chukwuneke. He's not just a mentor, is an advisory council member of this organization. One of our supporters, he supported us. Some of you that haven't came into this mentorship program, you were sponsored. You never knew who sponsored you. So we are glad to have you around, sir. He's reaching us live from South Africa, right? Yes, South Africa. Yeah, he's a Nigerian professor dentistry and dean of dentistry in Nigeria. So, sir, we were saying you are welcome, highly welcome. You can always come in to contribute to any of the topics as it goes, of course, as we progress. Yes, we also have Amanda Obedike with us. She's a Nigerian. She's a mentor, one of the most inspiring young lady I've seen or I've met, of course, online. She's a US Kekti colleague. She's one of the persons that have won several awards on when it comes to STEMI and every of those stuff. You just recommend Amanda. She's around, and I want to say welcome, Amanda. Yes, so we have mentors around and we are safe. Yes, so we have contributions on the topic. It would be nice to hear from you. Yeah, just unmute yourself and contribute. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Favor. And for all the mentees and advisors to, thank you very much. So I think we'll jump on to the next topic, and then you can contribute first, and then the rest will contribute if that's okay. Yeah, just tell me if that's okay in the chat box, and we'll proceed. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So we were supposed to discuss two topics, which is understanding the SDGs. For those who have joined right now, we are just from discussing topic 1, understanding the SDGs, and on to topic 2, which is global citizenship. And everybody seemed, most of the people seemed very excited about the topic. I don't know why. I don't know if the topic is very exciting. I don't know. But yeah, so global citizenship. So because Felix Chukwuneke, I'm sorry if I pronounced that weirdly or in the wrong way, but can you kindly, sir, tell us what global citizenship is all about in your own understanding? Just unmute yourself and go on. Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I'm on Zoom call. Very good. And please change that in.
Okay. Philip.
Please, yeah, please, can you wait a little bit for him? Yes, be patient a little bit. Yeah, I will recommend that he comes in at his convenience. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
you. So
thank you.
Any mentor around who wants to tell us what global citizenship is, all about?
Hello?
Yeah. Yes?
Okay, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, can you hear me very well now?
Yes.
Very well, loud and clear.
Oh, good. One thing is that this is just the first time of following you up. To be honest with you, I didn't go through the topics of today, but it doesn't really matter. A mentor is a mentor, and for one who has gone around, has seen it all. So, what is this topic now? You're talking about. Is it individual globalization, or what? What is the main topic now that she mentioned?
Yes, she wanted to get an idea on global citizenship, the concept of global citizenship. Yes, just
okay, global citizenship.
Exactly.
Okay, well, all I can say is that visually, academics can take you to wherever you want to be. for some of us who started very, very, from a grassroots and eventually become, globalized by features of our academic program. I hope I'm talking in terms of what you meant. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
because what I felt, is the meant in globalization that is being relevant in every area in the society across the world. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir. Yeah, very well.
Good. So my area, maybe later I will actually, expatiate more on it. Is that apart from being a professor of maxillofacial surgery, I am also an international bioethicist trained by United Nations on bioethics. And often, these days, the world is gearing towards research ethics. And, I found out that most people, especially Nigerians, always shy away from areas of ethics. And areas of bioethics will actually carry you along to many places. You will meet a lot of mentors. You also meet a lot of opportunities to be where you want to be. Because these days, we live in a global world. And for example, Nigerians and other West African countries cannot live in isolation against the rest of the world. There's a need to pursue programs that can bring us into limelight. Now, I know that in various places where one can actually feature, even after living, there are many, many opportunities that are there. I want to tell you, for example, when I finished, I became a doctor. After being a doctor, I became a consultant. I must tell you the fact that the time I left Nigeria, the first time I flew outside the country was in 2008, when I got an international scholarship on research ethics at University of Pretoria, as well as Johns Hopkins University, Baltimore, and Kennedy Institute of Bioethics at Washington, D.C. I didn't stop there. I also had to do postgraduate diploma in human science, University of KwaZulu-Natal, after doing masters in public health in health research ethics at University of Pretoria. So you can see how just going into research ethics has taken me around. Now, it also helped me to bring into focus on both ethics, bringing bioethics to the doorsteps of even Nigerians, and also making way for it to be put in the curriculum. The last meeting we had at UNESCO bioethics teachers training, which I also trained in bioethics by UNESCO, and also I'm a teacher in ethics by UNESCO. So what we are trying to do is to introduce bioethics so that it can be a course like psychology and get people into it in everywhere they are. Because, research is very, very important now because of, following some of the what can I say, maltreatment and violation of the rights of research participants. Most Africans are now being trained on research ethics so that, it will enable them to know that clinical research in vulnerable populations like Nigerian and West Africa are done, ensuring that the dignity of person is, restored, as well as the consent of individual, so that it will be done in such a way that there will not be group harm. So such a situation can actually help people develop attitude. It can help you get across to anywhere you want to be, even if you want to be in the US, you know, in research institute, even if you want to be in UK, you know, it's a kind of way of, you know, getting yourself globalized, getting in touch with realities, because we cannot live in isolation against the rest of the world. That is just the point I'm trying to make. So when we look at also the structural dynamics within our own society in West Africa, we must also have to have an opportunity where we can equally be able to stabilize outside the world, outside the West African clime. So that's to me the way I'm just looking at it. So we must pursue a program that could be able to make us become relevant in any area that we want to be. That's just a nutshell of, you know. Maybe next time I will follow strictly to what you people be able to project it in line with what you actually really wanted. And I must say I thank you. I must say I thank you very much for you to have this kind of concept. You know, I like people who have novel idea. It is not really easy for a young man to start like this. You see, when I look at people, I often say, you know, Nigerians have talents, but the problem with us is that we start from beginning, you know, focusing on religion. And I hope people won't get me wrong. I'm a Christian, a real Christian, you know, but most often we take things for granted. We pray open door, open door. Fine, God will open door for you, but you have to make effort. Because if you do not make effort, how God cannot just come and open on his own. So these are just the thing. We must be able to get ourselves organized, be focused, you know, and ready to learn and ready to move ahead. That has always been my, you know, what I usually tell people whenever I talk, whenever I get closer to talk to them. We must be able to be well focused and not digressing in certain things. So it is a great thing that
Thank you so much.
started this. So well done.
Thank you
keep
so
it
much.
up.
Thank you so much, Professor Belly Chukwunekim. We're grateful. We learned a lot from that, so thank you.
My pleasure.
Yes, we heard what he said, so I was just amazed. Some points he mentioned, he talked about the fact that globalization is so important. Don't think you are a leader in isolation. You need to connect to the other the other side of the world. You need to see what's happening in other parts of the world. That's why traveling is so important. Some people will tell you don't apply. So why are you wasting your time to apply for some foreign opportunities? Opportunities you apply for can help you to think differently, right? Yeah, when you go for programs like Yali program in Ghana, some programs in United States, it will change your thinking entirely. So that's what Professor is trying to point out. Yeah, so we have a mentor who wants, mentor Adeborinwa. She would like to contribute to this. Let's get to hear from her, from Nigeria. She's a leader, Fulbright scholar. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Adedoyin is my name. I'm a Nigerian, but I live in Azerbaijan. So I'm speaking to you from Azerbaijan.
Interesting.
Yeah. What did you say?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so on global citizenship, before I define what, could you please tell the person?
Yes.
Okay, so before, hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so before I define what global citizenship means, I quickly want to speak, just briefly on what Professor Felix said and what Favor has talked about traveling opportunities and how it can really help us to be global citizens. You know, I, for one, if there is any country of the world I have traveled to, it's because I applied, and it's because I never gave up. I kept applying, and to the glory of God, it kept, you know, becoming a way to leave the country and see the other side of the world. And it actually changed my thinking. So when you talk of global citizenship, it's a way of living that recognizes our world as a place that is increasingly becoming a complex web of connections and interdependencies. You know, Nigeria is not just an island on its own. America is not just an island on its own. China, Japan, and every country of the world they aren't just islands on their own, but there is this kind of interdependencies. So global citizenship is one in which all our choices and all our actions have repercussions for people and communities, whether locally, nationally, or internationally. So global citizenship is a concept that makes you think beyond yourself. It makes you think, you know, outside just your locality. It makes you think outside what you're doing now and consider other people. That, okay, whatever action I am taking now is going to affect someone. Let me give just one example. For example, if you, maybe you just finished taking water from a bottled water or from a sachet water, and you decided to throw that paper or that bottle just anywhere. Or maybe, as it happens in Nigeria, I know this is not just a community of Nigerians, but I'm just citing this as an example. Where all the clients that we have all around. So global citizenship is a way of recognizing that whatever you're doing as an individual, whether locally, nationally, or internationally, it has repercussions, whether good or bad. Now, global citizenship nurtures a kind of personal respect and respect for other people wherever they live, because you consider that you're not just all by yourself. There are other persons who are affected by whatever decisions you decide to make. So global citizenship encourages individuals to actually think deeply and critically about what is equitable and just, you know, and this way it will minimize harm to our planet. I just gave an example of throwing your dirt in the drainage, believing it's going somewhere, or throwing the bottle that you just, maybe your Coca-Cola bottle or your water bottle, you decided to just throw it anywhere without even minding what happens to the environment. So global citizenship, exploring global citizenship theme can actually help learners or young learners to grow more, not even young learners, everybody in the world to grow more confident in standing up for what they believe in, and to become more skilled in evaluating the ethics and impact of their decisions. That means whatever you're doing is affecting someone and you're aware of that. So briefly, before I stop whatever I'm going to discuss on, I quickly want to talk about who a global citizen is. A global citizen is someone who has a wider awareness, who has a sense of its own role as a world citizen. A global citizen respects and values diversity. I remember the first time I traveled to the United States, I met people from different walks of life. I met people who are from different religions than mine, who are of different beliefs, who have different backgrounds of education. And finally, that was when I first got to Washington. When I left Washington and I went to California, I worked closely with 19 people from 18 countries of the world. And we lived together for more than 3 months. And we lived in peace, we lived in harmony. And I believe what helps each and every one of us to be able to achieve that is because we were all aware of the diversity in people, And we pursued respect, and you know, we decided to value the beliefs of other people. It wasn't that there weren't times we had clashes, but our awareness helped us to overcome all those clashes. So a global citizen is someone who has an understanding of how the world works. Favor and Dr. Felix mentioned, you know, no one is an island, no country is an island on its own, and no one is an island on his or her own. So when you are a global citizen, you have this idea that, okay, I'm not alone. Whatever I do is affecting another person, and the world works interdependently. So now a global citizen is someone who is outraged by social injustice. You know, you don't see an African as an African because it's a stereotypical thing that Africans are poor. No, you don't see a Chinese as a child, or an Indian as someone who mistreats other people. You don't see an American as someone who is a racist, but you believe that whatever happens to an African or an American or a Chinese or whoever affects you as well. Then a global citizen is someone who participates in the community at a range of levels. It doesn't matter if you are young or if you are old, because whatever you're doing in your locality, you know, it affects anything that happens on a larger scale. And a global citizen is someone who is willing to act to make the world a more equitable and sustainable place. That's what you're interested in. And that's one of the goals of sustainable development goals too. Something that is sustainable, something that can keep going and make life better for everyone. And finally, a global citizen is someone who takes responsibility for their actions. Okay, let me give another example. If you have, you are on social media, of course, maybe on YouTube or on Facebook or any other social media platform that you have one group or the other. You know, it amazes me the way people bully others, the way people talk other people down. I think it's not fair. If, for example, someone is big, let me say an A+ size person, and you decided to make a nasty comment about the size of that person, you're not helping the world. You're not helping a community of persons probably who have problems with depression. Because if you say something nasty to me, for example, it might make me feel bad about myself and I might end up committing suicide. So what gain do I have from that? So global citizenship is just from what we consider so little, even to the biggest things. So to be effective global citizens, young people and even old people needs to be flexible, creative, and proactive. So we need to be able to develop skills to solve problems, you know, make decisions, think critically, communicate ideas effectively, and work well within our teams and our groups. So, and finally, if you leave maybe the university, or you want to leave the country, or whatever pursuit you want to make in life, believe you me that one of the skills your employers or whoever is going to help you out in one situation or the other, one of the skills they will be looking out for is how globally minded you are, how well you can think about others, not just about yourself. And it's one of the skills that is necessary in this 21st century, including many workplaces, like I said. So these skills and qualities cannot be developed without the use of active learning methods, through which people can learn by collaborating with others. So collaborating with others, having a belief that whatever you do affect others, you know, doing a kind of intentional or deliberate act that make the world a better place, or make your environment or your community, whether locally, national, or internationally, a better place. Deliberate action is what can actually help us become a global citizen. Thank you for having me, and I hope I could say something.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yeah, we are so glad to have with us one of our advisory council members. In fact, is the chairman of the advisory board. And please join me as we welcome today. We have Professor Emeritus Ambassador Admiralship Ate Oloritomba Timothy. Is the Advisory Council member, chairman for GELA, the stands. I don't know where to start from, but I will just end by saying he has done a lot for us as an organization, and he's also the one of our primary partners, and with their headquarters at Canterbury, UK. Yes, so I think I want to say welcome, sir. Amanda is back. Yes, welcome, Amanda. So we are on a topic. The topic is we are discussing global citizenship, and people have been contributing on the topic. Yes, and we still remain open to opinions, suggestions, ideas, experiences that can inspire every one of us. Yeah, the floor is open, sir. And the floor is open, Amanda. Thank you.
Okay, so hi everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much, Favor, for such a wonderful refresher meeting. And I also thank the mentees and partners on board. Sorry that the meeting has actually been unstable for me. I was having another one, so I needed to merge the two together. So can you hear me?
You very well.
Okay, so sorry, maybe he can proceed while I would hold on, and I would respond to him, respond to the team much later.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so
Thank you.
welcome on board. Welcome on board, sir. It's nice to have you around, Professor Emeritus Ate. It's nice to have you around, sir. I don't know who you want to give us a word. All right. Yes. So I'm very sure Prof will join us yes shortly. So let's continue. Oh, okay. Yes, it's live already. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's a nice being here on the platform, and I'm really happy. I've been following through some of those comments that have been said. What I know is we are together in the whole project, and I really wish everybody a warm welcome for this first Zoom meeting for the Cohort 4. And I'm really happy that all of us much people were able to participate in this. At least I was able to see like 26 participants already online. And that's a very encouraging thing. So I wish us all a very fruitful deliberation while we proceed with the proceedings. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so Brenda, over to you. Yes, back to you. You are the moderator, so you are coordinating.
Thank you very much for the help. So we've all heard about global citizenship, and just a quick reminder, if you have any question, just use the chat box and drop the question, because I'm going through the chat box and seeing if there are any questions. So from my understanding is, just being a global citizen is you being able to, identify yourself beyond your political or geographical or situation or boundaries that you're in, and in every decision or in every activity you take part in, you know, putting at the back of your mind that it affects everybody. No, it just doesn't affect you. It's a vicious cycle. It affects everybody. So you have to be aware of that fact, and you have to be aware that you're not, you know, you just don't live alone. You're not an island. You have to depend on other people. So you respect everybody's, you know, be it religion or political, just respect everybody's views and lifestyle, and, you know, and trying to assimilate, you know, with others, and trying to live with how others have chosen, you know, to live. So that's, you know, like the layman's definition of global citizenship. I Is there any mentor on board who'd like to give their opinion on this? Kindly, just a very short summary and opinion. You can raise your hand so that I can see you've raised your hand, or any question that you might have or want to ask, or any, you know, even a mentee thereof. You can just raise your hand. Oh, I see Felix has raised you. Just make sure your presentation is very short and straight to the point. Yeah, go ahead, Felix. Yes, Felix. I see your hand is up. Oh, yeah, I think he's, yeah. So, is there anybody who has a question, you know, regarding, okay, Victor, your hand is up. You'd like to give a summary?
Right. Good evening, everybody. Good day.
Yeah.
It's quite good to be here. What I would like to ask is, you know, it's all about being. It has all been about global citizenship, and it's basically what I would like to ask is, as a business owner, as somebody who does business, of course, you're always in business to make profit. I would like one of the mentors to throw light or shed light on how one could still be in business and affect this ideology of the SDG and the global citizenship for sustainable future. That's what I would like to ask. Thank you.
Okay, so if I've gotten your question clear, is how you incorporate SDGs into your business? Is that your question?
Yeah, thank you. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
To ask.
Okay. Anyone wants to shed light on this? I can see a couple of hands risen. So, God's wisdom.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question, sir. I will just answer it from one angle, and I was even going to say something about it. You don't have to travel, sorry if I have to use that word, around the world to become a global citizen. I might be selling toothpick somewhere, and if somebody comes to buy something and you know the person does not have enough money, and I feel like assisting, I can do that. And maybe somebody today we're going somewhere, we picked money on the ground, and it was even a small boy that lost the money. I will give it to somebody and say, please, we just saw this money, you know, keep it, and later we'll discover it was a small boy. So wherever you are, whatever you are doing, and that's why I love Christianity, because it does help us to be straight. I know this is what I do, and this is what I don't do. So wherever you are, whatever thing you do, just know that the next person is your brother, okay? And try as much as possible to help, try as much as possible not to deceive or to lie to or to be greedy. Just try as much as possible to be a blessing to one another. And if every one of us is doing it, no matter what you're doing, we are reaching out and it becomes better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me just add to what he said. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, we can.
We are running out of time. Yeah. He said as regards business, right? Okay. Do you know, just for you to be able to put options of payments, and you recognize that people can also pay not just in your own currency, but they can also pay in dollars, they can pay in other currencies, is also wisdom. It shows that you understand the concept of global citizen as a business person, that you are not opening your business to just Nigerians, right? You have Flutter Wave you can use to pay. The people that created Flutter Waves, they understand the concept of global citizenship. Through Flutter Wave, for example, you can pay in US dollars, you can pay in most of the currencies. Don't you think so? Yeah, so, but there are options for payment that you see that is strictly Nigerians. And people from other countries want to buy the same product, but they have problem in purchasing. Then also I was in a group, and someone gave a comment, and someone else left the group after the comment, and it was just based on language, right? So sometimes, of course, we cannot have the same language. The fact that we are global citizens does not mean we all speak the same language, right? But you must recognize that when people are speaking, the response you give, the fact that you are calm enough to listen to them, shows that you respect them. Don't make them feel like as though their language is just rubbish, right? Even if they want to patronize you, try to be listening. Try to have listening ability, right? Then lastly, I applied for there was a foreign grant I applied for some time ago, long time, and I realized that in the options they created, there was no even place for West African countries. The options, most of the schools, they said it's for students around the world. But when I saw the options, most of the schools were all strictly schools in the United States, right? And I was not surprised when in the long run, when the selection was done, all these people that were selected were strictly, none was outside the US. So I believe the people that launched that program, somehow they may not have the intent to have done that, but they already communicated something from the outset, even from the application form. So you see, you're running an enterprise, you're running even an NGO. There are some things you do that will make people understand that you know the concept of global citizenship. All right. So thank you, and that's my contribution on this issue. Thank you.
Okay, I would also like to add to that. I liked what the previous speaker said. I mean, the one who talked before Favor. He said, you don't have to travel all around the world to be a global citizen. That's so much correct. You know, the concept of global citizenship is not about traveling. No, that's not it. It's about awareness, being aware of what happens in your locality. You know, it could be locally where you are. It could be just on your street. It could be the street that you live on in Nigeria. It could be Nigeria as a whole, or maybe India or Ghana or wherever, and it could be the whole world at large. So what we are talking about here is not just about you traveling, just like the other person said, but it's about the awareness that, okay, the world that we live in is interconnected, it's interdependent, and the global thing that we talk about, we say the world has become a global place, is not just out there. It has become part of our daily lives. Okay, right now, everyone on this Zoom meeting, we are speaking from different parts of the world. And now we are together talking. You know, our phones, our emails, whatever we are using is controlled by people outside our locality. So let's say, for example, the person who built the phone or who built the internet wasn't globally minded. I'm sure we can't benefit. So that's what we are talking about. Whatever product you're using today is produced by someone from somewhere that you don't even know, or you haven't been to, or you haven't even heard about. So global citizenship with regards to how we can use it in our business, to be specific now to the question that person asked, is in your business that you do, what do you do that you think can affect the other person that you're transacting business with positively? Okay, now let me boil it down to this point. You're doing business, yeah, with the aim of making profits, yes. But the profit you are making, are you being honest? Are you being sincere? It's part of being a global citizen. You know, considering others. Whatever you're selling to others, is it adulterated? Is it fake, or is it genuine? It's part of being a global citizen. You remember I said that global citizenship or the global world that we talk about is not just out there. It's part of our everyday lives because we are linked to others on every continent. China products come to Nigeria. Some products in Nigeria go outside. So, you know, the continent is socially and culturally interconnected through the media and telecommunications. You are in your room, you're watching what is happening in America. Through travels and through migration, through economically through trade, and environmentally through sharing one planet. Okay, if you watch documentaries, which I do a lot, you will see how the bottles that we throw here and there, the nylons that we throw here and there are killing the aquatic life, are destroying the seas, the oceans, you know, and making the environment a bad place to be. Okay, sometimes youth, maybe, let me use Nigeria because I'm a Nigerian, I can speak more about Nigeria, though I'm not in Nigeria. Okay, sometimes youth say they are angry at maybe what the government is doing or what have you. They decide to put a tire at the middle of the road, they burn the tire and the smoke goes up, it pollutes the air. It makes the air unbreathable. It makes it something that can affect our health. So it's just one, of course, they are trying to speak about their grievances, but it's the wrong way of doing it. If they are globally minded, there are other ways to get that done because their action at that moment is causing some other problems. So it's an interrelated thing. And remember too that the world is connected politically through international relations and systems of regulations. So what I'm saying here is this: whatever you're doing as a business person, you want to import goods from China, for example, or from anywhere, any part of the world. Is it genuine? Is it what can affect the health of the persons you are going to sell that product to? Are you sincere? You know, do you give the true balance of what you're supposed to give? All of these things are issues and how we can, you know, help ensure global citizenship in our businesses. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very, very insightful. I hope your question was answered. So also I saw someone ask that how do they become a peace ambassador, or like a peace ambassador in their organization. I'd like to answer that real quick. It's very basic. You have to make sure you as a person, you know, you don't have to go to other organizations to start preaching about peace. Just make sure within your organization you are a light bearer in that issue, that whatever someone says peacekeeping in the organization, they definitely think about you. Just start within yourself, start within your organization. If you're finding it hard to figure it out how to become a peace ambassador, just start within your own community. You know, it's you know, you've said you're in an organization, so I believe, you know, just start within the organization, and that way, you know, you grow with time. So you make sure that wherever or whoever you are with, they, you know, you're preaching about peace, you teaching people about peacekeeping methods. Basically, you're doing, you know, you're just doing it amongst the people you're with. So yeah, let's continue.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we have a mentor that we want to. I know we are running out of time. We have someone from Guinea, Conakry, Guinea, is a mentor, Mentor Tono Michael. Yes, he's with us. So welcome very much, sir. He's a senior officer in techno company in that country. The techno company, the arm of his. He can introduce himself better, but I can tell you he's one that you need to meet. Yes, he may have some contributions on the topic or something for us. Michael, we welcome you on board. You have something to say about the topic? Okay. All right. Well, we can go ahead. I guess he will join us subsequently.
Hello. Welcome. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So I said I'm so glad to be part of this West Africa mentorship program because that is my passion actually. I think this is a great deal of debate and discussion around this question. And to me, what I can give you here as contribution, a global citizen can be someone that is aware of the wider world and has a sense of their own role as a world citizen. So he respects and values diversity, and he has an understanding on how the world works. It's very important because nowadays I can understand that all the youths are all passionate about this topic. So it's connect to real life as it is happening now, because a world challenged by conflict, inequality, and environmental harm, and crying out for positive change, the youth need to act in this. And at the moment in Guinea, that's what we are facing. Like, we have a lot of conflict challenge here, but we are trying as the youth to cope up with the government in order for them to understand what is a global citizen. Because it is important. The global citizen, I can put it here as an education. It also has a core part of the learning for sustainability. It actively engages learners with the social, environmental, economic, and political forces which shape our increasingly global world. So, in addition, it also enables learners like our mentees to develop their necessary knowledge, understanding, skills, values, and attitude to be able to engage confidently and also responsibly and successfully with the world in which they live. So, to be effective, to be an effective global citizen, one thing I would say, young people need to be flexible, wherever they are. So they have to be creative and proactive. So this is what I have as contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Flexibility, creativity, proactivity.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, Brenda, I think over to you so we can round up. I know we spend a lot of time. Yeah.
Okay. I believe we've come to the end of today's meeting. So I hope everybody has learned something. Yeah. I really hope everybody has learned something. And thank you, everybody, for coming, first of all, for showing up on time. I think everybody came on time. I think the latest person came 5 minutes in, or was it, and that's amazing. That's very amazing. So thank you all for those who, came on time. I hope, for those who didn't have a chance to go through the week 2's topic, the first and the second week, you have a concept of what, the topics are about. And I hope you do take, these tips that we're discussing and implement them in your daily life, not just throw them away after the discussion. No, just make sure you implement them in your daily life. So thank you very much for joining. And if you didn't get a chance to participate, I am sorry, because of time. We actually 30 minutes into, the set time the meeting was supposed to be over. So and I hope you all excited for, there is another meeting 2 weeks from now, and I hope everybody's going to now go through the week 3, the week 4, week 3, week 4, yeah, topics. And because we'll have another meeting, we'll come, and share our experiences. So thank you very much, and I'd like to announce that the meeting is officially over. Have a great day, have a great evening, have a great afternoon in whichever part of the world you are from. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much, our guests. Thank you. Do have a great weekend. Bye from Nigeria.